Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime video. So this year, 2020, will be ending soon and I love to make videos to commemorate this occasion, the end of the year. Much like I do with Halloween, I love making Halloween themed videos as well. So, for the end of the year, I like to make videos that look back on the year as a whole. Kind of like a review of the year, things like the best games of the year or the best animes of the year. However, much like with this year's Halloween, I had to think of a Pokemon-themed video that could celebrate this occasion, the end of the year, since my channel is now focused on Pokemon. So I thought, why not make a video on the 10 best Pokemon Journeys episodes of 2020. The Pokemon Journeys anime started in 2019 and it has 49 episodes as of making this video, but only episodes 1 through 7 aired in 2019. The remaining 42 episodes, starting with episode 8, aired in 2020, so most of the current episodes aired this year. That means that there are 42 episodes to pick from, and I will pick the 10 episodes that I think were the best, so this will be based on my opinion. I encourage you to share your personal favorites in the comments section down below. Now I do have some rules in place so that the list has some variety. First, I can only pick one episode from the Darkest Day arc, which stops me from including more than one episode of this arc. Second rule is that Leon has had 2 exhibition battles thus far, one against Lance in episode 12 and one against Raihan in episode 27. I can only include one of these 2 episodes. Similarly, Ash has battled Bee twice. He battled her once in episode 34, and he battled her again in episode 39. Like with the previous rule, I can only include one of these 2 episodes. I also thought of only including one episode in which Ash catches a Pokemon, but it would be hard to pick just one of these episodes to be on the list, and all of these episodes are great, so it would be a shame to exclude 3 of them. Thus, I decided not to include this rule. With these rules in place, I picked the 10 episodes of Pokemon Journeys that I think were the best of 2020. And I will share them with you now in the order that they aired. So, let's get to it. First up is the episode that sold me on Pokemon Journeys as a whole. Episode 10, which is titled The Dragonite Paradise and Dragonaire's Ordeal in Japanese and A Test in Paradise in English. I say that this episode is what sold me on Pokemon Journeys because prior to this episode, I felt that this series was underwhelming. Sure, it was unique when compared to previous series. It broke the mold of the Pokemon anime, but it lacked excitement prior to episode 10. A big reason for this is that Ash did not catch any new Pokemon in episodes 1 through 9. In previous series, he had at least one new Pokemon by episode 9 and it's always cool to see Ash catch a new Pokemon. So, the first 9 episodes of Pokemon Journeys lacked this thrill, and it was made worse by the fact that Go started his catching spree early on and caught several Pokemon, including Scorbunny, a starter Pokemon which Ash would normally get. And thus, I was honestly disappointed with Pokemon Journeys up until episode 10, that is, which changed everything. Because Ash finally caught something in Pokemon Journeys. He caught his first Pokemon in this series, and that Pokemon is of course Dragonite, a Pokemon that I never thought Ash would ever catch, especially not as his first for a series. This is easily Ash's best first capture ever. Going into episode 10, I never expected this to happen, and so it was a huge surprise. Pokemon Journeys went from meh to amazing in just one episode. And not just because Ash caught such an amazing Pokemon, but also because if he could catch a Pokemon as amazing as Dragonite, then I felt that the sky was the limit, and Ash could catch just about any Pokemon. So I started looking forward to the future of this series because I was excited to see just what else Ash might catch. The hype, excitement, and surprise that this episode generated is what prompted me to make a video on this episode, which was my very first Pokemon Journeys video on this channel, and the video that started my coverage on this series, which is what got my channel to where it is now. So, episode 10 was definitely a game changer in more ways than one. Next is episode 13, which is titled Ash vs. Leon, The Road to the Strongest in Japanese, and The Climb to be the Very Best in English. In this episode, Pikachu Gigantamaxes due to an overflow of Dynamax energy. Afterwards, Ash challenges Leon to a battle. Leon soon accepts, and he gives Ash a Dynamax band, and so, Ash faces the champion of Pokemon Sword and Shield in a short but good battle that includes a battle between Gigantamax Pikachu and Gigantamax Charizard. I do wish that the battle was longer and more epic, but it was fine, especially for so early in the series. I also think that it should have been a little less one-sided of a battle since Ash and Pikachu should be much more capable even against a champion like Leon. Still, it's always great to see Ash battle gym leaders, Elite Four members, and champions. This episode also gave Ash his goal for Pokemon Journeys. Prior to this episode, Ash did not have a goal for this series, but facing Leon and learning of the Pokemon World Coronation series gave Ash a goal. And it's very cool that his objective in this series is essentially to be the strongest trainer in the world and to become the strongest trainer himself in the process. This goal is also what leads Ash to several of the amazing battles in later episodes that made this list. So, overall, episode 13 was great, and I can't wait to see Leon and Ash's final battle at the end of Pokemon Journeys, which is sure to be one amazing battle. Next up is episode 16, which is titled Cursed Ash in Japanese and A Chilling Curse in English. So like I mentioned before, Ash catching a Pokemon makes for a great episode, and it's one of the most exciting things that can happen in the Pokemon anime. Therefore, it's not surprising to see yet another episode where Ash catches a Pokemon on this list. Like I said with episode 10, Ash catching Dragonite was amazing, and it showed that Ash could catch just about anything in this series. And episode 16 reinforced this because Ash catches Gengar, another amazing Pokemon that I never thought Ash would catch prior to this series. I did make a video predicting that Ash would catch Gengar prior to the airing of this episode, which was my very first speculation theory video on Pokemon Journeys, and my first truly successful Pokemon anime video. So, I was not surprised that Ash caught Gengar like I was when he caught Dragonite, but this does not mean that I did not jump with excitement both times. Gengar is a Pokemon that Ash deserved to have prior to this series because he traveled with a Haunter back in Kanto, which Ash never officially caught. If he had caught Haunter back then perhaps he would have had a Gengar much sooner. So Pokemon Journeys gave Ash a Pokemon that he was essentially cheated out of in the past, which makes Gengar's capture all the more satisfying. I also love that Gengar appeared in episode 11 first, where it was basically a prankster of a poltergeist, as befits Gengar. And then it appeared in episode 16, where it haunted Ash by inhabiting his shadow, which allowed Gengar to learn about Ash. And we also learned Gengar's backstory, which is depressing as it was abandoned by its trainer. In the end, Ash catches Gengar, which makes this another amazing episode. Next is episode 18, which is titled Ash Participates the Pokemon World Championships in Japanese and Destination Coronation in English. In this episode, Ash battles Biscuits, the substitute gym leader for the Vermilion Gym. This is Ash's first battle of the Pokemon World Coronation series and Ash's first step towards his goal of battling Leon. I love this episode for 3 reasons. First, Lieutenant Surge is mentioned, and Ash recalls his battle with him. The Pokemon anime has over 1,000 episodes thus far, but it's rare that the past is directly referenced like this, so it was a nice callback. The second and biggest reason why I love this episode is that Ash uses his Gengar for this battle, and this is Gengar's first official battle under Ash's ownership. And it was great to see Gengar in action, especially since Gengar absolutely trashes Biscuit's Raichu, though Gengar is then trashed by Biscuit's Electrode. And the final reason why I love this episode is that, well, it featured a battle. A great one at that, and one that felt like the gym battles of past series. So, it was a thrilling battle, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's not the best battle Pokemon Journeys has had so far, but it is arguably the first one that is very good. Next is episode 21, which is titled Convey the Wave Guidance, Ash and the Mysterious Egg in Japanese and Caring for a Mystery in English. This is yet another episode where Ash catches a Pokemon. And just like with the previous 2 captures, this is a special one since Ash catches Riolu, yet another Pokemon that I never thought Ash would catch prior to this series. Like with Ash catching Gengar, I knew that Ash would catch Riolu too prior to watching the episode, but it was still exciting, especially because unlike Dragonite and Gengar, Riolu could evolve, meaning that I was already looking forward to the day when it would evolve so that Ash can finally have a Lucario, a Pokemon that has always been well suited to Ash, and a Pokemon that a lot of us wanted Ash to catch. Riolu's personality was also able to shine in this episode. Despite the fact that it was just born, Riolu was already eager to be strong, something that would compel it to challenge several Pokemon back to back. This personality made it a particularly good fit for Ash, and Riolu also displayed some sort of aura power that has yet to manifest into something special, but hopefully it does someday. Overall, this was yet another amazing episode and another great capture. Next is episode 25, which is titled A Battle Festival Exploding with Life versus Mega Lucario in Japanese and a Festival Reunion in English. Korrina returns to the anime in this episode and she is a participant of the World Coronation series. She reunites with Ash and they have an epic battle that is easily my favorite in Pokemon Journeys thus far. Certainly my favorite between two trainers. Ash uses Gengar and Dragonite for this battle, and while Gengar is unfortunately easily defeated by Mienshao and Lucario's combination, Dragonite steps up to win the battle solo, defeating both Mienshao and Lucario even after Lucario Mega evolves, proving that Dragonite is an absolute powerhouse of a Pokemon. It was also great to see the return of an old character, a gym leader at that, and one that Ash gets to battle again. And especially one that has so much chemistry with Ash back when she was first introduced. Riolu also got to meet its evolved form, which was cool to see. And Riolu also got to see its evolved form's Mega Evolution. There was a lot of hype going into this episode, especially since we had to wait longer for it due to the hiatus the Pokemon anime took because of the pandemic, and it's great that the episode delivered in the end. It's definitely one of my favorite episodes thus far, and I hope to see Korrina again in the future. Next up is episode 27, which is titled Legend of Heroes, Leon's Greatest Battle in Japanese, and Toughing It Out in English. A lot happens in this episode, too much actually. Leon has yet another exhibition battle, this time against Raihan, the Dragon-type gym leader of Pokemon Sword and Shield, and it is a great battle, especially since we got to see Duraludon in the anime for the first time. It was an amazing battle overall, and I did like this battle better than Leon vs. Lance, especially because Duraludon can Gigantamax, meaning that Leon vs. Raihan ended with a battle between Gigantamax Pokemon. Sonia and Rose were also introduced in this episode, two important characters from Sword and Shield that would go on to play an important role in the Darkest Day arc in the anime. And finally, Ash and Go run into a Galarian Farfetch'd, which Ash battles using Riolu. Riolu uses a full set of moves, and this is its first true battle. And Riolu is able to show just how strong and determined it can be. Riolu defeats Farfetch'd, which Ash later catches, something I never saw coming. This is arguably Ash's least exciting capture in Pokemon Journeys thus far, but it was still cool. So much happens in episode 27, and while I do wish that some of it was expanded upon, it was still a great episode jam-packed with excitement. Next up is episode 39, which is titled Ash vs. B, Conquer the Octolock in Japanese. This episode currently does not have an English title. In this episode, Ash battles B a second time after losing to her in episode 34. I chose episode 39 over episode 34 because the battle was more even in episode 39. It felt like Ash actually stood a chance and he battled like he normally does. He is aggressive and ingeniously crazy. The battle in episode 39 is more epic and I love the music that plays when Graplock enters the battle. The fact that the battle ended in a draw was also unexpected, and this episode sets up B as a rival for Ash, someone that Ash will strive to overcome in the future. This episode also shows B's softer side, which was nice to see. And finally, episode 39 also featured the return of Chuck, which led to a nice callback to his battle with Ash, which was great to see. Overall, episode 39 was a fantastic episode and it featured yet another great battle. Next up is episode 45, which is titled Sword and Shield 4, The Ultimate Sword and Shield in Japanese. This episode currently does not have an English title either. I could only pick one episode of the Darkest Day arc as per the rules, and of course, I had to pick the final and most epic episode of the arc. In this episode, Ash battles Rose using Riolu and Pikachu, which culminates in Riolu finally evolving into Lucario. And Lucario demonstrates his power right away by one-shotting both of Rose's Pokemon. In a similar situation, Go battles Oleana using Reboot, and Reboot evolves into Cinderace. These two evolutions alone would put this episode on this list, but Ash and Go then go on to battle Eternamax Eternatus with their two newly evolved Pokemon. They can't do anything against Eternatus though on their own, but Zacian and Zamazenta soon arrive to help. They transform into their crowned forms and they attack Eternatus with their epic signature moves. In the end, Ash and Go catch Eternatus together and they promise to meet Zacian and Zamazenta again someday, which is something I hope we get to see. Overall, this was a great arc, even if it was a bit rushed, and this final episode was, without a doubt, the best one in the arc and one of the best ones in Pokemon Journeys overall. And last, but not least, is episode 46, which is titled Battle and Catch, the Revival of Mewtwo in Japanese. This episode currently does not have an English title either. In this episode, Ash and Go travel to Celo Island in search of Mew, but they find Mewtwo instead, and not just any Mewtwo, but the Mewtwo from the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, who has not appeared in the anime for a very long time. Ash and Go then end up battling Mewtwo, as Ash wants to battle Mewtwo, the so-called strongest Pokemon in the world, and Go wants to catch it. Mewtwo in turn wants to test if Ash and Go have what it takes to fulfill their dreams. What follows is an epic battle, Mewtwo versus Ash's Lucario and Go's Cinderace. Pikachu did battle initially, but he was soon defeated. This was definitely an amazing battle, even if it was one-sided since Mewtwo is just too powerful and it easily defeats Lucario and Cinderace in the end. It felt like a battle against the final boss, which is exactly how a battle against Mewtwo should feel, and it was just amazing to see how unstoppable Mewtwo is when it battles seriously. I also love how after the battle, Mewtwo tells Ash and Go that the world is big, and that there are many powerful Pokemon out there that Ash and Go can't even imagine. Will they still pursue their dreams knowing this? Ash and Go say that they will for sure because they have their friends with them. Mewtwo goes on to say that they have formed bonds properly, which is something that few can do. Mewtwo then says that Ash and Go are immature, frail, and fleeting, but this is why they possess unlimited potential. Their journey has only just begun. This honestly gave me goosebumps. It's exactly the kind of philosophical speech that makes us love this Mewtwo. And I also love all the throwbacks to the first movie that are featured in this episode. My only complaint with this episode is that the first half of it is wasted on Ash and Go exploring the island instead of using that time to explore what happened to Mewtwo after we last saw it in the anime. What happened to the other clones? Why is Mewtwo here in Celo Island? Where is it going next? So many questions were left unanswered, so I hope that Mewtwo appears yet again in the future so that we might get some answers. Still, this was an amazing episode overall and probably my favorite episode in Pokemon Journeys thus far. And there you have it, the 10 episodes of Pokemon Journeys of 2020 that I think were the best. Again, this is my opinion and I would love to hear what your favorite episodes are in the comments section down below. Since I chose to only include 10 episodes here, there were a few great episodes like episode 37 that did not make the video, but this does not mean that they were not great episodes as well. I also have video reviews for all of these episodes here on my channel, so I encourage you to check them out too so that you can get my full opinion on each episode. I will leave links to those videos in the description below. 2020 was definitely a rough year due to the pandemic, but it wasn't all bad. There were still several great games and anime this year, and the Pokemon anime was certainly one that was still able to shine. I hope that the Pokemon anime will continue to be great going forward into 2021. And I hope that 2021 is a better year overall, not only for the Pokemon anime or the Pokemon franchise as a whole, but also for all anime and games in general. I also hope that it's just a better year in general. 2020 was also the year my channel really took off and I have continued to grow throughout the year. I would like to thank all of you, viewers and subscribers, for your support this year, and I hope I can continue to count on your support in 2021. But that's the video. Have a happy new year, and as always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.